it's Anna-Kaisa and it's time for the 5th episode of Life of DI. This time I was at the management rotation. This was an 8-week rotation that took mostly place at Mission Bay campus. And in this rotation, the whole group of 10 interns was split into 2. So 5 of us went into management and the rest 5 went into ICU and pediatrics rotations. The management rotation is about understanding what goes around in the kitchen, in the food service side of things at the hospital, understanding what the supervisors do and what goes around to getting patients their meals every day. So the things we did were, for example, observing staff on what they were doing, and also doing some audits such as tasting patient foods or sending a tray out to the floor and following it around, and then seeing what the temperature of the food is, if the food still looks good, if it still tastes good after half an hour, 45 minutes when it was compiled into a tray. We also had a bunch of projects. For example, we wrote a business plan for a cafe that will open at the Mission Bay campus in a year or 2. And, you know, being used to writing fictitious business plans or other things at school, this time it was interesting because it's an actual cafe that will open. And so it'll be interesting to see whether the suggestions we have in that business plan are going to be carried out fully. We also had a project where we made a food safety training video for the staff, and we really tried to make it interesting and easy to watch, and also, of course, a good learning experience for the staff, and not make it also sleepy for them. And I heard a lot of good feedback from the staff saying that it was, for the first time, there was a training video that was not putting them to sleep. So I was very happy about that feedback. In general, the management rotation was fun for me because the schedule was much more flexible than I was used to in the clinical rotations. Sometimes I could go in at 9 or even 10 in the morning, and I could even choose to do some work at home instead of on site. Also, things didn't have to be done at the end of the day. We had many days to do certain tasks. So that was also nice for the flexibility aspect of things. And I think in the future, if something like this opens up, I might even consider going to management. We'll see. Then at the end of the year, I did a couple of days of staff relief. And it was very interesting going back to clinical because being in management for 8 weeks tends to make you forget a few things, but it went well. I realized that it is very challenging to take care of a whole service on your own, even though it was me and another intern. I was not alone. I still take too much time with my patients, and I tend to stay too long in the patient rooms. I like to talk to them, but I have to get a little bit quicker. I do think that being fast is important, but being thorough is more important. And I really try to be fast, but it cannot happen with more mistakes and more missing things. So I think from now on I'll try really hard to be very thorough, even if it takes me a few more minutes to do it. And next, I will be going into my 4th clinical rotation. And before that, I have 1 week of classes for my counseling rotation that happens a little bit later in the spring. And I believe it's a time of year when a lot of dietitians-to-be are filling out their applications for dietetic internships. And I want to wish you a lot of luck with that. I know it was very stressful for me last year. But just triple check all your work, and don't hesitate to ask professors or friends to check what you're doing. And it was always useful to have another pair of eyes to see that there's no typos in the application or anything like that. I also want to wish you Happy New Year 2017, and as we say in Finland, hyvää uutta vuotta. See you next time.